You guys were not too shy last time, so once again remind me how trash my taste for anime really is. This is 5 anime better than Fairy Tail. Just leave a comment down below for what waifu you think this is. Number 1. D.Gray-man. Alan Walker has spent the last 3 years of his life training to become an exorcist. An exorcist is a human who has the ability to destroy monsters known as Akuma. These Akuma are created by the Millennium Earl by trapping the soul of deceased humans inside of a mechanical skeleton. Alan Walker just finished his training under General Cross and is now tasked with finding the Black Order and becoming an official exorcist. He is accepted into the Black Order where he meets many unique individuals who all have their own way of destroying Akuma. Alan's arsenal includes his left eye, which is cursed, allowing him to see the tortured souls inside of the Akuma, and his left arm, which he can turn into a weapon. As the newest member of the Black Order, Alan begins completing missions alongside his many new friends and allies. D.Gray-man is very much like Fairy Tail, it just has a much darker look and feel to it. Both are shown in anime where the protagonist joins a guild, and then the anime uses friendship as a core part of the story. This can be seen in how Alan and Natsu are both willing to throw away literally everything in order to save a friend. Then Fairy Tail and D.Gray-man never miss an opportunity to add in the comedy. This anime really is a lot like Fairy Tail, but I just want to stress once again that it is very dark in comparison. Now, I'm still currently watching this anime, but I find it to be better than Fairy Tail due to the plot. Fairy Tail has an extremely simple plot, which doesn't cause you to think too much into it. Nothing wrong with that, but D.Gray-man has more mature and murky themes woven into it. This allows you to sympathize with the villains or even question whether or not the good guys are actually in the right. Honestly, I almost always prefer a more intricate story, especially those that blur the line between good and evil. If that sounds good to you, then check out D.Gray-man. Just a quick reminder that the like and subscribe buttons are just below this video. Number 2. Demon Slayer. After a long trip down the mountain into the city to sell charcoal, Tanjiro begins his trek back home. Along the way, the sun sets, and an eccentric man warns Tanjiro of demons and invites him into his house. Tanjiro accepts, and after a good night's rest, he finally returns home. Upon arrival, he finds that his entire family has been slaughtered by a demon, except for his sister Nezuko, who has transformed into a demon. Now an official demon slayer has arrived and is planning to kill Nezuko. So in order to protect his sister, Tanjiro fights this demon slayer, but ultimately he ends up losing. Even so, because of his efforts, the demon slayer allows Nezuko to live, and Tanjiro becomes the newest member of the Demon Slayer Corps. Tanjiro now begins his journey of hunting down demons, all the while looking for a way to turn Nezuko back into a human. Demon Slayer is like Fairy Tail because they both follow the standard shonen formula. Tanjiro and Natsu both begin their journey with a tragic event, Natsu being abandoned by his father, and Tanjiro's family getting killed. Then they both join a group of like-minded people, which allows them to chase after their goals. Then if I want to get real specific, I could argue that Tanjiro and Natsu both have a heightened sense of smell, which is tied into the story from time to time. Demon Slayer is on this list primarily due to its better animation. Fairy Tail by no means has bad animation, but I mean come on, Demon Slayer is just on a whole nother level. I mean, are you really going to argue against that? Honestly, I just recently got around to watching Demon Slayer, and let me say this, I should have watched it a long time ago. I might be stretching the similarities a bit for this one, but I definitely think it's better. Number 3. Bungo Stray Dogs. Atsushi is tortured and kicked out of his orphanage for being suspected of luring a mystical rampaging tiger into the house. With nowhere else to go, he wanders aimlessly around the city until he stumbles upon a man who is drowning. He quickly saves the man to find out his name is Dazai, a suicide fanatic. And luckily enough, Dazai is also a supernatural detective who is currently tracking down the mystical tiger that has been haunting Atsushi. It turns out that he and the mystical tiger are one and the same, because he transforms into the raging beast whenever he is struck by moonlight. Being unable to control his power and nowhere else to go, he winds up joining Dazai at the detective agency. As he begins tracking down criminals and learning to control his power, he finds out that somebody has put a hefty bounty on his head, and the infamous Port Mafia is coming to claim it. Bungo Stray Dogs is not written to be a typical shonen, but it still has a lot of shonen tendencies. which of course makes it similar to Fairy Tail. Once again, our protagonist has a tragic past of being tortured and thrown out of his home, and then he ends up joining a group of unique individuals who each have a special power. I believe Bungo Stray Dogs is better than Fairy Tail because of the plot and characters. Fairy Tail's villains normally have little to no motivation or reason for being evil, and after being punched a few times, they have a change of heart and join the good guys. Now in Bungo Stray Dogs, the villains have believable motivation for acting the way they do, and of course this makes them significantly more interesting to watch. Fairy Tail does a fantastic job of hyping up the good guys, but if you're itching for more thought out and intriguing villains, then you need to watch Bungo Stray Dogs. Anybody else tired of some of our favorite anime getting delayed? Number 4, Black Clover. In a world overflowing with magic, there is one boy who is unable to use magic. This boy is named Asta, and he grew up at a church in Hage Village alongside his rival, the magical prodigy Yuno. Asta and Yuno were dropped off at the church on the same day, but they couldn't be more different. Asta is always loud, energetic, and obnoxious, while Yuno is calm and reserved with an almost stoic nature about him. Now in this world, you receive your grimoire once you have turned 15, and on this day, Yuno receives a legendary 4-leaf clover grimoire, while Asta doesn't receive a grimoire at all. Shortly after this, Yuno is attacked and the magicless Asta comes to his rescue. During this struggle, Asta's 5-leaf Black Clover grimoire appears with an almost demonic nature to it. After using this power to save Yuno, they set off toward the royal capital in order to become magic knights with the hopes of one day claiming the title of Wizard King. Black Clover is similar to Fairy Tail due to the setting, characters, and even in some of the plot. To begin with, both anime are set in a fantasy world which is filled with magic. Next, Asta and Natsu were both abandoned by their parents, and the source of their powers are somewhat similar. Then we can mention the fact that both characters scream a lot, and they both join the most rambunctious guild possible. So how can I claim Black Clover to be better than Fairy Tail whenever the My Anime List rating is so much worse? Well, my biggest complaint about Fairy Tail is how the characters rarely combine their magics together, but this is a frequent thing that happens in Black Clover. In almost every major battle, you will see multiple wizards combining their magics together in completely unique ways to take down the bad guy. And of course, this makes the fight significantly more thrilling to watch. Now, in the first 20 episodes of Black Clover, Asta can be very annoying with how often he just screams, and I believe this is why it has such a low rating. But if you can power through the early screaming, then I almost guarantee you will enjoy this anime. Do you agree with this list so far? If not, leave a comment down below letting me know which anime you would have put on this list. Number 5, Hunter x Hunter. Gon has his sights set on becoming a hunter and tracking down his father who left him behind. In this world, a hunter license will allow you to go almost anywhere and do just about anything. After finally earning his aunt's permission, Gon sets out to find and take part in the dangerous and grueling hunter exam. It's a struggle in itself just to reach the starting point, but with the help of his new friends, Gon does manage to get there. That being said, getting to the exam was the easiest part. Now he must complete the numerous trials that lay before him. This anime follows Gon as he completes the hunter exam and embarks on many different adventures, all the while searching for his father in the process. If you've watched this anime, it should go without saying that Hunter x Hunter has a lot in common with Fairy Tail. Just like Fairy Tail, this anime is about a boy who is on a journey to find his father who seemingly abandoned him as a child. Honestly, I think you're going to be hard-pressed to find anyone who doesn't think Hunter x Hunter is better than Fairy Tail. The biggest difference being that Hunter x Hunter has a power system that actually makes sense, and is not based off of how angry our protagonist is. There is one moment of friendship in this anime, but there is a huge price that has to be paid to obtain that power. I would argue that Hunter x Hunter is the best shonen anime out there, so you need to check it out if you haven't already. So, were you able to guess what waifu this is? It's Albedo from Overlord. Before you go calling me a Fairy Tail hater in the comment section, you should probably know that Fairy Tail is one of my top 10 favorite anime. If you're new around here, check out my video on 5 anime better than Sword Art Online. Thanks for watching everyone, I hope to see you next time.